Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Schlueter. I'll be the instructor for this class, Teaching Strategies for Exceptional Children. Just a little introduction about myself. I've been a teacher for a long time. I'm logging at this point 32 years in K-12 education. I started teaching in the elementary, actually early childhood, then elementary, moved my way up to middle school and high school. I also do a lot of college teaching. I've taught for Doane as well as other universities on the side as an adjunct for about 15 years while teaching regular K-12 education. Special education has been what I've done pretty much most of the time. I did 1 year of second grade, regular second grade, but other than that, it's all been in the field of special education, which is where my heart has been. And I would say that it's, special education is a mixed bag. Kids with learning disabilities, mental health disorders, ADHD, all kinds of things. I've done mostly inclusion, resource-based, but I have taught some life skills classes too. Started off a coffee shop one time for our kids in our life skills program, which was very rewarding. I was a house parent, a group home house parent, foster parent. I've been working with kids for a long, long time. I would say that my specialty area that I devoted a lot of time to, it was in working with kids with behavior disorders and mental health. I'm kind of crazy that way. It's an area that I really enjoy, and I spend a lot of time doing that too. So anyway, that's just a little bit about me. You can read more in the, I don't know what section it is, it's in the first discussion. Sorry, I've got a couple classes that I'm juggling in the air right now, trying to remember which one is which. Anyway, what I want to do in this video is just show you how to navigate the course. This will be a very short video, just so that it makes it easy for you. My whole doctoral program was online, so I learned what I liked and what I didn't like as a student at the other end of the course as a student, because I hated when I had to spend a lot of time looking for things. I wanted to just get to work. And so I designed my classes two things. Number one, to be as practical as possible for the classroom. I don't want to waste your time with things that aren't going to work. And so what I'm sharing with you are things that I know have worked for me, made my life easier, and enhanced my students' learning, made things easier for families, that kind of thing. And yeah, so I want that for you. And I also want you to be able to spend your time doing your schoolwork and not searching for things. So I design my classes that way. They're all I try to make them kind of the same format. So let me share my screen and get started. So when you go into the course, what you're going to see, this is the student view. So my home screen is also the same as these modules. It's going to look the same, should anyway. And that's really, I try to keep it simple so you don't have to go searching all over. So it's going to look like this. I do want to mention that you will need a textbook for this class. We're going to use this textbook a lot, and so there's no way around it. You have to have the textbook. It's called High Leverage Practices, and in the introductions and everything else, you're going to see the title of it with the authors. Make sure you get the purple book. They have two books out. Make sure you get the purple one, High Leverage Practices, the author, all that stuff is in the course for you to find. So you will need this textbook. So the way that the course is set up is in modules. The modules last 2 weeks with the exception of the first one. The first one is the introduction. I always put the dates of the courses right here. I don't like to go in and put every assignment on a calendar. I can do it, but then I have to change it every semester when I teach the class again. It's just easier on my end, and I hope it's easy for you. If it's not, let me know. You can complain about it, and I'll see about doing it differently if you would like me to. But for now, what I do in my courses, I have them by week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, all the way through the 13 weeks of the class. And then it tells you what that is. My weeks start on Monday and they end on Sunday. So the first week is just 1 week standalone. And then after that, there's 2-week modules. So as we progress into the modules, module 1 will be for weeks 2 and 3. Week 2 is September 2nd through the 8th. Week 3 is September 9th through the 15th. If you're watching this in a future course, these dates may be a little bit different, but you get the gist. And then module 2 is weeks 4 and 5. I put the dates here of when those weeks last. Week 3, week 4, excuse me, not week, but module. Module 3, module 4, module 5, and module 6. All right. Let's go into the first week. I would like you to start here. This is this video. Actually, if you're watching this, you've already found this. I don't have it uploaded yet because I'm making this right now. But this will be this navigation video that you're watching now. So you already have that. And then for the week 1 instructions, there will be instructions in every week. New window. So it'll tell you what to watch, what to read. So I'd like you to watch this video. That's the one you're watching right now. And then read the introduction to your book. We're going to be using the book a lot. So it's pages 1 through 7 in your textbook. And then if you click on this, it's a link to, you can get this through the bookstore at Doane. You can also get it on Amazon. Make sure you get the book with a purple cover. The instructions are to look through the table of contents. You'll need to have done this before you can do the week 1 introduction discussion. And then you'll do the week 1 introduction. For this 1 week only, the initial post is due Wednesday by midnight, and then a minimum of 3 replies are due Sunday at midnight. Remember, the first week of class is a little bit different schedule-wise than the others. So let's go back to there. And then here's the discussion for week 1. And what I'm asking you to do in the first discussion, besides introducing yourself, there's a little bit more information about me if you care. But then, I also have discussion board guidelines, expectations, and examples. And I'm pretty specific about the discussion board is a big deal in my classes. It's how we collaborate. It's how we learn from each other. So if your posts are something like, great post. If your reply goes, I really liked it a lot, good job, you're not going to get a whole lot of points for that. And I'm very specific about what I'm looking for, both and so these videos give you a little bit of information. I made these videos for past classes. And so I think even it's maybe when we were using Blackboard, but that doesn't matter. What it's about, what you'll see if you watch these videos, and they're very short, is examples of what a good discussion board for me is and what a bad discussion board response or initial post looks like for me. So if you could just watch those, and then you're going to introduce yourself. Okay, I think I've got to add something to this. I'm sorry. The course, I'm still putting finishing touches on, but I also want you to, sorry about this. This is a good way for me to work out the bugs. I'm going to ask you in this first discussion, this first week here it is. It's right here. Sorry. So I'm asking you to introduce yourself, tell a little bit about your professional life and so on. But then you're going to look at the table of contents from the book. You will not be able to do this first discussion if you don't have your book. So get it as soon as possible. If you have problems with getting it quickly, let me know and we'll try to make other arrangements. But you're going to choose 6 high leverage practices. Let me introduce the book. The title is High Leverage Practices for Intensive Interventions. And so there's 22 chapters and 22 let me do the right letters, HLPs, high leverage practices in the book. The 23rd one is just a reflection, and we won't be specifically exploring that, although it's good information for you to take a look at if you're interested. But there's 22 of them, and we will be looking at 6 of them, 5 of them in the discussions, and then you will get to choose 6 of them on your own that you are going to develop for your assignments. You don't need to worry about understanding that yet. Don't worry about it. But you will, for the first discussion, have to peruse and skim and choose the 6 that you might be interested in developing for your assignments. All these instructions are in great detail within the course, and I don't want to spend time in this introductory video because really my purpose in this video is just to teach you how to navigate the course. But my message here is the important part of what I'm saying right now is that you can't do this first week discussion without looking at the table of contents and reading through pages 1 through 7 in the introduction. So that's week 1. And week 1 is a standalone week. The rest of the modules are different as far as the time frame. So then once you get into week 2 in the course and week 3, the dates are right there. You're also going to have instructions for the module for the 2 weeks. It'll tell you what to read. There's usually a short video for you to watch to go along with it. And then it'll say, go to the discussion and follow the instructions there. And then at the end of week 3, your first HLP assignment will be due. The instructions for that will be in the course. I do want to point out that when you go to do your first assignment, I have created what I'm looking for. I find that when I teach, it's really great to give student examples of what you're asking for, whether they're kindergartners, 15-year-olds, or graduate students. So what I've put here, which is super important, is an example HLP assignment, because you're going to be doing 6 of these, 1 in each module. And so I've done one myself. All right. I used the HLP number 7 from the book. and I provided background. You can read the instructions on your own. I'm not going to take time to do that now, but I want to let you know that this example is there so you know what I'm looking for, the level of detail that I'm looking for. There will be a template for you to use. I'll show you that in a minute, but you'll provide some background about your student and your situation, the problem you're trying to solve using the HLP. This makes no sense to you yet, but it will once you get into the book. And then you'll see my example. I want you to know that my example is here for you. You're also going to be creating strategy implementation tools. How are you going to implement the strategy in your classroom? Remember, for these assignments, you can choose which HLP you want. I always want my courses to be as practical as possible. I'm hoping that they're more than just, okay, I'm going to do this assignment quickly. I'm going to check the box. I'm going to get my credit and get out of here. Teaching is a hard thing. You're paying a lot for these courses. So I try to design them to be as practical and useful for you as possible so that what we learn in class actually finds its way into your classrooms. So you get to choose these 6 assignments that you'll do throughout the course. You get to choose the HLPs that are most of need for you and that are going to benefit your students. We all do different things. We all have different needs. Some of us know more about some practices than others. And so maybe you want to develop something that is not maybe your strong suit. So anyway, I have provided an example of what this looks like, the kind of implementation tools I chose when I did this assignment. So I've actually done the assignment. You'll do 6 of these. If you send me a 1-paragraph thing that just says, well, I would do this, this, and this to implement my HLP, it's not going to be a passing grade. So you can see what I'm looking for here. And then I also want to show you that there is a template that you'll be using for these 6 assignments that you're going to do. And it just looks just like mine. The top is just some instructions. And then you will do the high leverage practice. Let me scroll here. So you do include the chapter number that you've chosen, the title and the chapter page numbers from which HLP you're choosing. You're going to give a little background. And remember, you have my example to look at, what problem you're looking to solve. I think I might change those words. I might want to say something more like the practice that you're trying to improve or the practice that you're trying to learn. So I think I might change that. I'm not sure. We'll see. But you get the point. And then how you're using the HLP and then what your strategy implementation tools are going to be. Like I said, you don't know exactly what this means yet because you haven't even cracked open your book before you've watched this video, hopefully anyway, but I just want to let you know that those are there. You will use this template in all of your modules. So when it comes time to submit your first HL, you'll do the discussion. You click on that. There's 2 things to do every module. There's a discussion and there is an assignment that you'll be submitting every 2 weeks, except for the first week. The first week is a 1-week standalone. So the discussion will say, read chapter 2, because that's what we're going to be looking at for this discussion. Read chapter 2 in your textbook before participating in this discussion. And then you'll have your initial post instructions here. I'm always looking for specifics. Please watch those videos in that first week of what a high quality discussion looks like. And then you will please end your initial post always with a thought-provoking question for your classmates. It gets the conversation going. It gives you a place to go with it, to dig a little bit deeper into our experiences, our opinions, additional research, all those kinds of things. I have this at the end of everyone. Please be specific and refer to the content from your textbook. So I'm not asking you to do APA, putting, APA references at the bottom of each of your posts or in-text citations. I don't ask for that. But what I am asking you for is to say, when you're addressing these questions, like it said in the book about how to implement HLP practice number 7, they talked about doing this. I already do this in my classroom, but I really see that I have gaps in this place, so I'm going to start doing this. Your conversation in the discussion board should always refer back to the content that we're reading, the video that we're watching, or the books that we're reading, the part of the textbook that we're reading. So please refer to that in your conversation. The discussion board can't be a last minute opinion piece where it's evident from what you posted that you never even read the book. So if that, and I can tell, it's really easy to tell. So if that's what it is, you're just not going to get full points. So it's something to think about. I like students to know what to expect. And then here are instructions for your discussion response. You need to do at least 3 of those each week. Also, please, I'm going to type this in here. It's not there yet. Please respond to any questions that are asked of you in the discussion as well. I really prefer that you don't just go in on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday early in the week or something and just respond and then never go back to the discussion, because I want the discussions to be a robust place to share ideas. And if you just post on one day and you never go back, you're missing all the questions that are asked of you. We're trying to learn from each other. My students have such great ideas. We're all in the classroom. We're all boots on the ground, and we have a lot to share. So I really want the back and forth to happen in the discussions. But please take a minute to read this so that you know what I'm looking for. The initial posts are due by midnight. In this particular module is week 2 and 3. So the initial posts are due by midnight of week 2. Your minimum of 3 responses and answering questions asked of you are due by midnight of week 3. Okay. And this timeline will be in every single discussion. So that was module 1, which runs for weeks 2 and 3. And then the rest of them are all set up the same. In module 1, you will submit your first HLP assignment here. Remember, you get graded on 2 things, the discussion board and then your HLP assignments. And the instructions are right here. They're also on the document that you'll be using, and so on. So every week is like that. Every module is like that, set up the same. So then after week 3, you're going to go to module 3, which is week 6 and 7 of the course. Dates are here. You'll click on the instructions. You'll go to the discussion. And then on this one, at the end of that second week of the module, you will submit your HLP number 3 there. Module 4, you got instructions, discussion, submit your HLP there. Module 5 is the same. Module 6 is the same. There's no tests, there's no final. You're going to be creating things to use in your classroom. What else do I need to tell you? Please check your DONE email. That's how I communicate. It'll go through the announcements, and the announcements will always go through as an email. I don't have any announcements in there yet. I'll have to add at least an introductory one. I'm just not there yet. So is there anything else? I think that's it. If you have any questions about anything, texting is going to get you I need to put my my contact information. I'll put that up there in the first week too, so that you have it. I'll put it right up at the top here. You can call, text, email. Texting will get you the quickest response. If you send me an email, I love it if you send me a text and say, hey, I sent you an email or something. I juggle a lot of balls in the air. I always check my email at least within 24 hours. But if you need a fast response, please feel free to text me. I don't mind receiving texts at all. It's kind of easier for me to be honest, but at least I know to look for an email. Sometimes they get buried. I get all kinds of emails from DONE, from the institution, that don't even apply to me. And sometimes an email can get buried. So, all right, well, that's all that I have for y'all. And leave my student view here. Yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. Contact me anytime. I look forward to learning with you this semester. I think this will be a good class. So, all right, thanks everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.